There's a saying in my family that we were born under an unlucky star. The cursed bloodline, we call ourselves. In reality, the curse is more like constant financial struggle. I work as a flight attendant trying to keep our ship afloat. It's a fun gig, you know? If you ignore the jet lag, occasional rude passenger, and the peanuts. Oh boy, the peanuts.
Hey, you okay?
Alyssa, my best friend and fellow flight attendant, nudges me out of my thoughts. She has this perfect dimpled smile and sparkling eyes that you'd mistake her for one of those Victoria's Secret angels, not someone dealing with turbulent passengers at 30,000 feet. Yeah, just dreaming about my future as a peanut tycoon, I reply, faking a laugh. Alyssa and I have always been close, best friends since kindergarten. But lately I've been feeling something more. The intercom buzzes, cutting our banter short.
Flight attendants, to the front, please.
We exchange a glance before heading towards the cockpit. All right, so our VIP passenger today is a princess. The captain informs us, dead serious. I can't help but chuckle. Wait, like a real-life princess? I ask, a bit taken aback. The captain simply nods. As we prepare for the arrival of the princess, I can't help but think of Alyssa. Would she ever look at me as more than a friend? Could I ever escape this curse? My mind was about to spiral down the rabbit hole of what-ifs when the boarding began. Among the regular crowd, she stands out like a beacon. Princess Fatima, in all her glory. Dressed in a diamond-studded hijab and a flowing dress that probably cost more than my yearly salary. I never thought I'd see the day when my peanuts would be served to a real-life princess. Little did I know that day was about to change everything.
Seat 1A, right?
Alyssa asks, a hint of excitement in her voice. Yep, that's the one. I reply, my heart pounding in my chest. As the plane ascends, I brace myself for the ride. Little did I know it wasn't just the plane that was taking off, but a whole new chapter of my life.
So, you're a flight attendant.
Princess Fatima started, her voice like silk echoing above the hum of the airplane engine. Yeah. One of the few jobs where you can say the sky is the limit, without sounding like a self-help book. I replied, trying to match her ease and failing spectacularly. She laughed. Not the polite chuckle of royalty, but a genuine laugh, her eyes twinkling like a clear night sky.
You're funny,
she said, her smile not fading.
I like that. You're not what I expected.
Oh? I asked. And what were you expecting?
I don't know,
she replied, her eyes wandering off.
Something more mundane.
We continued our unexpected heart-to-heart at 35,000 feet above ground. She was curious, inquisitive, and alarmingly down-to-earth for someone who was, well, you know, a princess.
Am I interrupting something?
She asked, her voice cool, but her eyes shooting daggers at me. Just getting to know our passengers, I replied, attempting to keep things casual. Alyssa didn't say anything. Instead, she just nodded and walked off. I felt the tension as thick as a 1,000-thread count Egyptian cotton duvet the moment Alyssa and Princess Fatima shared the same cabin space. Alyssa with her girl-next-door charm, and Princess Fatima, literally a princess. All sparkles and royalty.
Oh, a princess. That's cool,
Alyssa said, her eyebrows raised just a tad too high when Fatima introduced herself. Cool as a cucumber. Maybe a slightly agitated cucumber. There was a casual air to Fatima's proposal, though.
So, how would you like to become a prince?
I swear the little airplane-shaped stir and my coffee started spinning on its own. I'm sorry. What?
You heard me.
she simply replied, sipping her coffee with a satisfied smirk. In the spur of the moment, she handed me her business card.
Think about it, Adam. Call me.
And just like that, my heart was sent into a free fall, a sense of vertigo clouding my thoughts. Yet, amidst the chaos, Alyssa's subtle changes started catching my eye. She started trading shifts when I looked tired, brought me coffee during our breaks, all while wearing the genuine warm smile. And one time, during an overnight flight, as we hovered over the shimmering cityscape, she took a deep breath and dropped the bomb.
Adam, I need to tell you something.
Her voice had a quiver, a tinge of anxiety that made my heart pound. Yes? I asked, my focus half on her and half on the view outside.
How about we start that peanut business? I'm tired.
She laughs. I glanced at her. She looked like she wanted to say something else, but she hesitated and changed the subject. My heart skipped a beat, but I guess for nothing. Meanwhile, my family situation got worse. We lost our house and had to move into an RV. I hustled, picking up every shift I could, flipping burgers at a local diner, juggling multiple jobs just to stay afloat. One night, I picked up Fatima's business card. Its gold embossed letters gleaming under the pale moonlight. My fingers hovered over the dial pad on my phone.
Adam, is that you?
Fatima's voice, accented yet perfectly fluent, flowed through the phone.
What a pleasant surprise!
Yeah. Fatima, it's me. I stammered, trying to sound casual while my heart pounded against my ribs.
What can I do for you?
She asked, her voice light. Playful, yet there was an undertone of anticipation. Well, you know, about your proposal. I found myself swallowing hard.
Oh, yes, my proposal,
she teased, and I can imagine the playful smirk on her face.
What about it?
I mean, it's not every day that someone like me gets an offer like that. You're you, and I'm not exactly a prince. There was silence on the line, then a soft chuckle.
Adam, I didn't propose to a prince. I proposed to you. But I can understand why you might be overwhelmed. Would you like to visit me in Dubai? I think it would help.
Visit you? I repeated, my voice cracking slightly.
Yes, see how I live. Get to know me better. Consider it an all-expenses-paid vacation.
Well, okay, then. I'll see you soon, I managed to say before ending the call. Getting off the plane, I was met with the sweltering heat of Dubai. As I walked through the terminal, a chauffeur held a sign up that read, Prince Adam. I nearly turned around thinking it was a practical joke. That was until I saw her. Fatima was resplendent in traditional garb, her smile dazzling as she stepped out of the gold Rolls Royce.
Adam!
She beamed, throwing her arms open wide.
Welcome to my world!
Later that evening at dinner, we spoke about her plans.
You're not just a guest, Adam,
she said, her eyes sparkling as she heaped exotic delicacies onto my plate.
You're my future husband, and I want to show you how much I care.
But as the days went by, I started to see a different side of her. She was generous, no doubt about it. yet there was an edge to her. Like the time she snapped at a waiter because her coffee wasn't at exactly the right temperature.
"Look at that painting, Adam,"
she said one evening, pointing at an artwork that looked suspiciously like a Picasso.
"It's an original. Cost me a fortune. But then, what's money if not for it to be spent, right?"
Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. She wasn't in love with me, but with the idea of having a trophy husband. A Cinderella story in reverse she could show off to her high society friends. Soon I started missing Alyssa. Her warm smile, her silly doodles. The contrast was stark. One evening I found myself on the balcony looking at the Dubai skyline. My phone buzzed. It was a message from Alyssa.
"Hope you're having fun, Aladdin. We miss you here."
Then Fatima took me to a gala event. A hall of mirrors, glitz and glamour. I couldn't help but feel out of place.
"I have something to show you,"
she said, leading me down a corridor. We arrived at a door, behind which was a room filled with photos and news articles, all about Fatima. The charity events she'd attended, the famous people she'd met, and in the corner a set of pictures, each of one featuring a handsome young man.
"My ex-fiancés,"
she explained casually.
"Each one couldn't quite fit in."
Suddenly, my head was spinning. I mumbled something about needing fresh air and stumbled out of the room. As the cool night air hit my face, I felt my phone vibrate. A message from my bank. Account overdrawn. Ugh, great. So, there it was. The ugly truth about Fatima. Her glamour had faded and all I wanted was to return home. But how? I was broke, and home meant facing a world of debts. "Fatima," I began, my voice steadier than I thought it could be. "I can't marry you." She froze, her heavily mascaraed eyes widening in surprise.
"Is it because of what you've seen?"
She seemed more intrigued than hurt. "We're just different." She studied me for a moment, and then to my surprise, she started laughing.
"Oh, maybe you're right,"
she admitted.
"We are from different worlds."
She looked down at her hand, at a glittering diamond bracelet that could probably pay off my family's debt twice over. Then, to my absolute shock, she unclasped it and handed it to me.
"A token for your honesty."
No, I can't accept this," I protested, but she insisted.
"Consider it a farewell gift."
She shrugged nonchalantly. I left Fatima's mansion that day, her sparkling bracelet in my pocket. Returning home felt surreal, as if the luxurious mirage of the palace had evaporated into thin air, leaving behind the concrete familiarity of my humble abode. Then my phone buzzed. It was the jeweler. The bracelet, Fatima's parting gift, had fetched a staggering sum. I held my breath as I read the figure, then exhaled in a rush. It was more than enough to pull my family out of debt. I wanted to see Alyssa, to tell her how I really feel. I invited her to the park, and sitting down on a bench, I begin. "Alyssa, we need to talk," I began, my voice steady. She turned, her green eyes glinting with curiosity.
"What's up?"
I've been meaning to tell you something," I murmured, swallowing hard. I think I'm in love with you." Her eyes widened, and for a moment silence hung in the air between us. she began, but trailed off, seemingly lost for words.
I love you too.